Hello, and welcome to episode of Todd Talks. When Todd Talks, people listen. The things I do for love. Ah! Hopefully. And oh my gosh, ladies and gentlemen, happy belated birthday to me. Because today we are talking about the epic matchup between Scooby-Doo and Courage the Cowardly Dog that just went down about. Well, I watched it about an hour ago. I had some things to take care of before I got to do a reaction video. But, I won! I know what you're thinking. Wait a minute, Todd. Wait a minute. I watched your preview video. I watched it. All 42 minutes of it. Good for you. And you said you're picking Scooby-Doo. I did say that. And I did pick Scooby-Doo. But I also said if you go right into like the final minute of the video, should you decide to skip everything, I do not recommend it. But if you do, I specifically stated that this matchup could be a tie. And if it was a tie, I'm declaring myself the winner. And we got a freaking tie! Oh my gosh, like I was seriously wondering at multiple points if Scooby was going to win. Because when they did the breakdown for Scooby and they did like the triangle dance thing, I'm like, there's no way Courage can beat that. Okay, like he clearly overpowers him. And then with the Courage breakdown, they talked about how he shattered the sun. He had to do impossible things like have sound waves reach the sun to break it and shatter it. And of course he piloted the ship into space and blah 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 blah. And then he had the dark meteor. Okay, one thing I want to note about that. As I noted in my preview video, I had only gotten through 2.5 seasons of Courage, and I did not know that I had access to the Straight Outta Nowhere movie. I watched that literally last night. And it was so funny. And then I thought, oh, they're not going to give him the Dark Meteor. And then both the G1 blog and Death Battle gave him the Dark Matter Meteor. And I'm like, okay, that could be a problem. Potentially. And then it was just like, they both have banishment spells. A G1 blog gave it to Scooby because of banishment. And Courage with the Dark Matter Meteor, I guess, can counteract that or something. And it's debatable. But again, it's dark matter energy, and in the movie, anything and everything can happen. So why not? And so it really became a question of who can beat who, and apparently they can't beat each other, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Not just because it means I didn't lose, because I totally said it could be a tie. Again, check the tape. I said it could be a tie. But also just speaks to the nature of who they are as characters and Toon Force legends. Because, again, while Courage does Toon Force stuff on the regular, as they accurately noted in the Scooby breakdown, he's been doing Toon Force crap since the 80s. Okay? Long before Scooby-Doo and Zombie first showed, the monsters are real. And that allowed him to have so much to build off of, including, the Scooby Snacks, giving him Popeye abilities, and coming back from disintegration. I did not see the ice shattering thing until the G1 blog, so props to you, G1, for that. But he's come back from a whole bunch of stuff, and so it's like, well, what could you do to Scooby to kill him? And then, as I said in my preview, what can you do to Courage to kill him? You can't. You can't stand him. I appreciate it. Any of you got that reference. I know I'm that old, but 34. But no, this episode, oh my gosh, was so good. The breakdowns were hilarious. The way they handled the abilities, and the fact that they kept referencing Straight Outta Nowhere, which is interesting for so many reasons, not the least of which is you almost have to wonder what would have happened if they had done this in, like, say, 2020, before the Straight Outta Nowhere came out. Because even though they specifically said that the Dark Meteor wasn't, like, the end-all, be-all, and Courage, I guess, to get out of the Chest of Demons without help, without the help of the Meteor or whatever, they heavily implied that. He also scales apparently to other characters like Billy and Mandy and Ben 10 because of the games that they were in together, which makes sense to an extent. You almost have to wonder like how much, because they even said like one of the captions, because of the movie where they were shown to be in the same universe or whatever, they were equalized. Like they were shown to be the same strength, same speed, blah 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 blah, and they technically could both be affected and unaffected by the meteor. Which you saw the clip where Scooby tosses it to Daphne. He's not getting affected by the meteor, but the moment he throws it to Daphne, it affects her. So weird stuff, man. But I loved the breakdowns. And oh my gosh, Boomstick. Boomstick. If you remember my preview video, I said that Eustace was the real villain of Courage the Cowardly Dog. Because of just the abuse that he takes. And anyone who watched the final episode of Courage with Perfect, and how he just kept berating Courage and everything. It's like, why can't you be perfect, you stupid dog? You understand that Eustace is the real villain. And so for Boomstick to say that Eustace was the Prince of Darkness and the true terror that abuses Courage endlessly, I totally felt that. It was so great. And of course how it played out in the battle was hilarious. So yeah, good stuff, man. Thanks, man. It's alright. That was a Scooby-Doo reference. But now let's get to the battle. Because a lot of people were confused with the preview, because the shot of the thumb war, because it was very clearly spliced in, like they took the shot of the opening shot with the bats to reference Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And then they went right into the thumb war battle, and I was fine. It was very obvious that they had not shown the beginning of the fight, and now we know why. And it was so awesome with them being chased by the monster. And I saw one person say, why was Courage and Scooby actually fighting if they were both trying to get away from the monster? And the answer is that if you look really closely at the beginning of the animation, Courage sacrifices Scooby to get away from the monster, and Scooby-Doo ain't amused. There's your next series. Scooby-Dooby-Doo ain't amused by the crap you're pulling. I so love this episode. It's so great. So that led to everything, and there was just so much. And I know I've missed stuff. I know there was a cameo or two that I missed, I'm sure, especially in the door scene, which we all called that they were going to do. And then the Courage opening the doors, and there was the Deadly Snowman. There was Godzilla, and then there was Columbo. Because one more thing there, Courage. We're so getting Light versus Columbo somehow. Liam has gotten Dark Souls. Let's just think about this season, okay? Liam got Dark Souls versus Skyrim. He got Gojo Makima. He got Courage versus Scooby-Doo. You can't tell me he's not gonna find a way to do Columbo versus Light, all right? Because he's got it in his head. This is something he wants to do. He'll find a way. He will find a way. All right, maybe we'll do live action death battle with an anime twist. You never know. It's fascinating how everything looks in this anime field. It's no, my wife's a big anime fan. It's just a fascinating thing. Why are there so many animes about harems? I find that very curious. See, I do a good Columbo impersonation. Just one more thing. So. But no, Luis, I don't know if you'll get to watch this because I know you're really, really busy, but you killed it on the animation. The references, the Toon Force gags, the hilarious ways that everything came together, especially at the end. Everyone loving the Asura's Wrath Scooby-Dooby-Doo punch was no, who saw that coming? Scooby-Dooby-Doo punch! And then Courage shattering him with the scream. That was so good. And then the ending with Eustace being the monster and using the chest of demons to not just rip him to shreds, but trap him in there forever was awesome. And them citing the Sega to Sanshiro Chuck Norris fight. Not since the great Chuck Norris Sega to Sanshiro fight of 2015 have we had a result like this. Well, now, to be fair, this technically isn't the first tie in Death Battle history. Koopa Goomba, Bieber, Rebecca Black, not that anyone cares about that one. Deadpool, Pinkie Pie, everyone cares about that one because they have very divisive opinions on it. And then of course Chuck Norris like a Sancho. But you could argue very easily that this is by and large the most official tie that Death Battle has ever had, because Chuck Norris like a Sancho was kind of a joke. Koopa Goomba was a unique joke, and that was the first season. It was like episode 4, I think it was 3 or 4. So that was like, when they were just trying to figure things out. Deadpool Pinkie Pie was literally just like thumbing their nose at themselves, like, oh, not every death battle has to end in death. Effing pony! And Chuck Norris like Sancho was kind of a gag, because it was, by nature, the two characters who were meant to be impossible to defeat. Of course, they can't defeat each other. So this is easily the most official tie that Death Battle ever had. And I really loved that, because, first of all, no one wants to see Courage or Scooby die, even if they did it let's call it the tame way, with like Courage using the dark meteor to reality warp Scooby somehow, which would not work in various ways, because Scooby can get rid of that, and Scooby Scooby trapping Courage in the chest of demons, which Courage could technically break out of, I guess. I did not know that. I didn't even think of giving Scooby the chest of demons. There was so much that I didn't think about because of this expanded lore of Scooby-Doo, which is why I picked Scooby over Courage. And again, if that movie hadn't existed, you could argue that Courage technically would lose. But I'm not getting into that. I'm having too much fun here. But yeah, there was so much to love about this fight. And again, Luis, the way you animated it was beautiful. There was so much care. The song, oh my gosh, the song, Forever Terror Night, and a clear reference to Terror Time again. You can't hear the song in full because of the action going on, but I can't wait to blast that tune at full power when it comes out. So please release it soon. Please release it soon. But yeah, this was a great matchup. This is easily one of the best matchups of the season. Currently my number 2. I just watched Dark Souls Skyrim last night, and it's still really good. I'm sorry, it's still really good. And I'm just saying that because I'm in the soundtrack. Round Wreck. Totally should have voiced Scooby. Oh yeah, and the voices of Scooby or Courage were fine. That was never the important part of the aspect of the fight. It was about how they represented them as a whole, and they did well. So next up is, oh my gosh, yet another death battle a community death battle come to life. It is the Doctor versus Rick Sanchez from Rick and Morty. Oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this. A recurring theme in this season, no doubt. But yeah, they're doing it, and I don't have an opinion, mainly because I have never watched Rick and Morty. I will not watch Rick and Morty for this death battle. I will not do a Courage binge and try and get up to speed. I will not do that here, because I cannot stand Rick and Morty for very personal reasons, and not just because of the idiot dude voice actor who rightfully got canned. He totally deserved that. But there's other reasons. I'll explain in my preview video. But I am a Doctor Who fan, but that doesn't mean I'm picking the Doctor outright, and I'm sure certain fans of the show can appreciate that for reasons you all know. But this is actually very timely because of the 60th anniversary special, not to mention the return of David Tennant as the 14th Doctor, officially, unofficially. And it's a nicely timed episode. It's going to be very, very different because of how these characters are with their philosophies, their arsenals, or lack thereof, and how it's all going to go down. So I have no idea how it's going to go down. So you'll just have to wait for my preview video next week. And with that, I'm ending this episode of Todd Talk. What did you think of the magnificence of Scooby-Doo versus Courage the Cowardly Dog? Did you have a blast watching it? What was your favorite part? Are you happy that it ended in a tie like I am? And are you glad that Eustace finally got what was coming to him? It came straight out of nowhere. Straight out of nowhere. They had a rap song in the movie. What the heck? Anyway, let me know in the comments below. So, hi, thank you for watching. If you made it this far, I know you were listening. Bye-bye, everybody. Ruby, Ruby, Roo!